This podcast has been brought to you in part by Inspirational Therapy Session Incorporated, inspiring teens since 2002. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is April 27, 2020, and today I want to talk about seeds. Now, first, before I get into it, I want to just take a little time to thank my Facebook friends and family so very much for just an outpour of seeds, I would say, yesterday. Long story short, I won't go all into it. If you guys want to hear my story, follow me on Facebook, all right? Find me Miracle Sims or something like that. But long story short, I basically have been having a rough time with my business over the past, last year, 2019 was extremely rough. And just to try to make the long story short. So basically we roll around to this year and then boom, Corona hit, right? So, but I can say, I would say even with all of that, one, God showed up and showed out last year in regards to just taking the little that we had and making it work, So to me, that was like that whole two fish and 5 loaves bread miracle. Basically, that was my 2019. So now this year, I feel like the seeds that was planted last year, they're starting to flourish. And, at the end of the day, I'm just so thankful for it. And so yesterday was a little bit more proof into that for me because, long story short, as you guys know, basically, sometimes you know how Facebook have different challenges and stuff. Now, your girl ain't out there doing no crazy challenges or nothing, but I came across this one. It was like a business post or something like that, and so I just shared it. In my mind, I'm thinking, I'll just share, put my business out there, X, Y, and Z. Well, next thing I know, I just had several friends and family members, not only reach out, but they started to donate and share my post. And as I thanked them, they was giving me these encouraging words that basically let me know that the things that I'm doing is making some type of impact and encouraging them, So, because that's one thing that I kind of struggle with every time I try to do something, with this podcast is included. I feel like every time I try to do something, I start to doubt or wonder, is this making any sense, or is it worth me doing this? And, like I said, I might not have said it last week, but I was kind of feeling that way last week a little bit. But I just kept pushing. I'm like, I'm going to still get up. I'm going to go ahead and do the things. But, I guess it just kind of showed me what I'm doing makes an impact to other people. And so, I just need to keep going. And I've been inspired by that to keep going. But, for the outpour to happen yesterday was a blessing. So I just thank everyone for that. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and encourage y'all this morning about your seeds, all right? So what I'm noticing is that this whole idea of planting and sowing and reaping is an ongoing theme in the Bible. There's so much about, seeds and, like I said, harvest and all this, right? So, it's too much to kind of touch on, I would say, in one juice. However, I just kind of want to go to, oh my goodness, I didn't write down the whole verse. What's wrong with me? Well, apparently there's this verse in Galatians. I didn't write down that, but if you guys are looking at it or whatever, I will share it, the actual numbers in the text that I write with the podcast. So I apologize about that, but it's somewhere in Galatians, and it says, give and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. So, friends, it's like that made me ask myself a lot of questions. Not only, what am I doing with these gifts that God has given me? But, hey, okay, what am I planting? Because like I said, this whole sowing and reaping thing, it can be this great positive thing, but it could also be this pretty negative thing when you read it in the Word. I'm just being honest with you. So it's like, so what are you sowing right now? What are you planting? Like, are you planting something like that's going to be good so it can some more good things come back to you? Or are you planting some negativity and that negativity going to come back to you? I don't know what you're planting, but I was asking myself after I read that verse right there. And also I was asking myself, how much am I planting? Because, at the end of the day, you plant a little bit, you're going to get a little bit. You plant a lot, you're going to get a lot, right? So, I was starting to ask myself about that as well. And then I also was reminded of what I was mentioning to you all a minute ago, those moments where I feel like the things I'm planting or doing, like I said, my whole 2019 for me was like, why am I planting all these seeds? Nothing's coming together the way I thought it would, And now, clearly, I, persevered and made it through. But what I'm saying, it's like when you're going through those situations, you're kind of doubting. You're like, you're afraid, or you're trying to figure out, like, what is going on? How can I handle it, right? Well, check out Galatians 6:9. That says, and let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Friends, how much do we need to remember this verse and keep it in our hearts? Because again, you're going to get those distractions. You're going to get those things coming in your way. You're going to get doubt, fear coming your way. But, hey, remind yourself of this. This is God's word. This is His promise to us, So, we all just need to keep the faith, even if it's just a little bit, just the size of a mustard seed. Keep it. And hopefully you will see the harvest real soon, right? Well, friends, let's go into the Bible verse of today. That is Deuteronomy 6:5. And that says, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. Well, friends, I hope that you guys are encouraged today. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. See y'all later. Bye-bye. If you like what you hear, then consider supporting our podcast. Every listener that supports us for $9.99 a month will be entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win a free gift. So become a supporter today.